Subscribe to James the Sheriff Dixon, you motherfuckers.
This is Fun Times with the Sheriff, Season 4, Episode 6. I got Eric back on.
Hey, what's up? Excited to be here. Stoked to be doing it again.
All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about Bill Murray movies.
Yeah. How do you feel about... I feel like Bill Murray's been around for such a long time at this point, and everyone feels like they have... To me, like they have like a personal, like almost like a personal relationship with this guy. Yeah. So what are your general feelings on Bill Murray? Like, I guess as an actor and as just like a dude.
I mean, like, I like him. I just rewatched, I should say, that the Dead Don't Die movie, and like that's one of his weirder ones. But
that's so funny. I grabbed his IMDb, and the first thing I clicked on was the Dead Don't Die, because I watched it. When did it come out? It came out a couple of years ago. I probably watched it in 2020. And what a bizarre... I know it's like a Jim Jarmusch movie, so it's weird to begin with. But, like, what a bizarre little movie for Bill Murray just to go like, yeah, I can, like, burn a weekend on this. It's so strange. And there's so... Again, it's Jim Jarmusch, so, like... There's a lot of people. Like, he always gets like these big, like, weird casts and stuff.
He's like Adam Driver and Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen Coffee and Cigarettes, which is a Jim Jarmusch movie where it's just like these little vignette pieces of people kind of like hanging out and talking over coffee and cigarettes, and it's really good. It's like Iggy Pop and Tom Waits and RZA and Jizza are talking, and then Bill Murray comes and like interrupts them, and then I always think of them going, Bill Murray. And I think that's so fucking cool. Like, I don't know, having Wu-Tang Clan, like, being, like, real into Bill Murray is very funny. And I think that's so cool. So I really recommend, if you're looking for a Bill Murray movie that you want to jump in with that isn't necessarily a Bill Murray movie, I really recommend Coffee and Cigarettes, which is just a fun, like, it's about 90 minutes long, and it's a really good one.
I'm looking on here on the list, too. He's going to be in the new Ant-Man movie, apparently.
What?
Yeah, I'm looking at his list, and right above the Dead Don't Die is the new Ant-Man and the Wasp one, yeah.
Wow. Crazy. That's so... how bizarre. Like...
Surprised it took them this long to get him, like, to come into the movie.
Yeah, I wonder... Bill Murray's a guy that... he, again, been around for, like, a really long time, but there was a while where, like, he was not...
making anything.
In anything.
Yeah.
Like, he did not... I would say from, like... 2000, like the late 90s through probably when did Lost in Translation come out? 2003. Yeah. So there was that, and then kind of just peppered some things, one thing here, one thing there, for like once a year, every year until about 2012 starts showing up in like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. And I know he's got a phone number where like you can call him, like if your movie's good, he'll like do it or whatever.
Yeah, I really like the idea of him just picking stuff that he feels like doing, because that's all you really need from that guy, right? Like, yeah. Bill Murray is Bill Murray no matter what. So like, he's been doing this since like the early 70s, so he can just kind of show up and be Bill Murray in anything. And people are going to go, great. It doesn't, what the fuck is the name of his character in Ant-Man? He's just going to be Bill Murray. He's going to be Bill Murray, but like a superhero or supervillain version of Bill Murray. Like that's all that's going to be.
Jeff Goldblum was in it, and it was just Jeff Goldblum. That's Jeff Goldblum. Exactly.
Who's another guy like that, where people like gravitate very much to the person, like the man, versus like the actor. Yep. I just think it's cool that he's into doing what he wants to. Like, there aren't enough people that are able to do that, and Bill Murray is definitely a guy who I feel like probably after Ghostbusters 2, he was just like, all right, only gonna do what I want for like the end of time now. Because you look at his IMDb from like 89 at Ghostbusters 2, and then it's just like, what about Bob in 91? Groundhog Day was 93. And then it's just like he's picking and choosing from there and not doing too much, doing just enough. And I think that's fucking cool.
To cash like his paycheck or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, right? I think that's awesome. Did you ever hear that story about Bill Murray being Garfield?
How he's like, how he hated it or whatever?
Right, but do you know why he took the role?
No.
He took the role because he thought one of the Coen brothers was directing it.
Oh.
Because it is directed by, I think it's directed by Joel Coen, but that's not the same
person he was thinking of.
Yes. So he thought it was like Inside Llewyn Davis Fargo Coen brothers, and it's not. It's the guy that made Cheaper by the Dozen and Daddy Day Camp.
That explains it.
And so because of that, he is Garfield in, I think, 2 movies, which is, again, the weirdest thing. But I also like that he just went, you can get that one time, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I fucked up. But then to go like, you know what? I'm going to be Garfield one more time. I think that's awesome.
Then in Zombieland, he brings that up too.
yeah, there you go. I think this is great. He's in so much stuff, and you can see who he likes working. You know, takes the Garfield role because he thinks it's the Coen brothers, and that's a big thing for him, is working with the Coen brothers, and then also working with like Wes Anderson, right? Like that's the guy that he keeps going back to. With stuff like what he's in, like Moonrise Kingdom, he does Fantastic Mr. Fox, Rushmore, like he's in all of those. I mean, like Life Aquatic, obviously. Like he just really likes working with certain people, and I think that's so cool to do that. Just to be like, yeah, this is us. Like this is the thing we do.
This is me now.
Yeah, right. It's that, and I think that's really cool. So, I think it's really cool. Like Lost in Translation is like his biggest. Like I think that was the thing that brought him back into kind of like the zeitgeist. I remember when it came out in like 2003, 2004, when it was like such a big deal that it was kind of like this indie-ish movie, the Sofia Coppola movie, that Bill Murray was in, and he was fucking awesome. And I just remember people going like, this is like the crazy, like, this is so good. And like, you know, it's like, oh, it's the director of The Virgin Suicides made a movie with Bill Murray, and I just remember it being like such a big deal. And it really just relaunched him into doing stuff again, which I think is very, very cool.
Then speaking of that, I have my own kind of story. I found out Bill Murray apparently like went to a bar one time and just got everybody like really drunk. He's just like walked in and he started to order people like shots and stuff. That's my like fun fact story I know about him.
He does a lot of stuff, and these were like the stories from like the mid 2000s or whatever, where he would go to people's parties and just show up and then just tell people. You know, it was like kind of like before camera phones and everything were everywhere all the time. He would go to parties, show up, do stuff, and then leave. And on his way out, just be like, "Yeah, tell whoever you want who's gonna believe you." And it's like that rules. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, that was my one fun story. Look at his list here. He was in that weird Osmosis Jones movie.
I remember that. I remember Osmosis Jones. That I saw that movie in theaters because let me see. I want to make sure. I think. Hang on, I'm looking something up real quick.
That's fine.
Let's see. Visual effects. I wonder if he is listed. I'm looking to see if my uncle worked in he was a special effects animator on Osmosis Jones.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's why I remember seeing that movie in theaters. I remember that being like, oh, cool. Like he's working on this. Very bizarre, but seeing it, you know, in theaters was very cool. Like that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember it being for like its gross out stuff in that movie.
Yeah, and it's like not a good movie.
Yeah.
But I think for being a kid, you're sort of like willing to watch it because what year was that? Osmosis Jones was 2001. Yeah, I mean, I saw it in theaters, and I was like a sophomore in high school or whatever, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just see whatever. It's like that kind of a thing.
I think the same thing goes for that Space Jam where he just shows up.
Dude, but like that to me is so cool because that's him just like, hey, I'll just do. It's like, oh yeah, do you want to just do this? He goes, yeah, and I think that's awesome. It's hey, I'm friends with everyone here. And he's just like, I'm friends with Michael Jordan. I'll be in this.
Go up against him in basketball.
Yeah, right. It's that, and it's like, all right, cool. Is he? Let me see. Yeah, so he has been nominated one time for Best Actor, and it was in Lost in Translation. He's not what I would think of as like an award-winning actor, but he's so prolific. I don't even know if that's like the right word necessarily, but like he's so well known that it's almost like you don't need you don't need that.
Yeah, he doesn't. He don't really want her. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like what's an award for Bill Murray going to do for Bill Murray? Sort of just doesn't. He's just a guy who like doesn't really need it. I feel like the other thing is that he's a rare guy who he's an actor.
Yeah.
And he wrote very, very little. I mean, SNL, he was a writer and everything, but like when it comes to larger projects, he doesn't have, it feels like he doesn't have any sort of misgivings about what kind of guy he is. He's willing to be, I'm going to come in and I'm going to be the actor and I'm the actor and I'm not trying to rewrite anything. I'm not trying to do anything. I act, period. And that's what he does. And he does it really well. So I think it's cool. I think it's pretty neat that he's able to do that.
And that's him pretty much everything, like we were just saying. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's him just sort of like, coming in and being Bill Murray. The thing is, a lot of these guys sort of, you get so big that you're like, well, maybe I'll try my hand at a direct, like I'll direct now, or I'll write something and then direct it, and like that'll be the thing. Maybe that's my passion.
Like what M. Night did pretty much.
Yeah. And so I think that he just sort of went like, well, I don't want to direct, and I don't really want to write. Like he just wants to be
him,
Bill Murray, doing Bill Murray stuff. The end.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's really cool that he can just sort of like do it, and there's no misgivings about what he's doing or why or how or whatever. It's just he's coming in, he's being Bill Murray, period.
So I'm looking through the list here, and I'm seeing that apparently after this Tomorrow movie, Chris Pratt's going to be Garfield.
What?
I'm scrolling through the Bill Murray list, and after the Garfield ones, it shows Chris Pratt in 2024 for Garfield.
Is he gonna? Oh wow, he is. Well, hang on, Garfield 2024. Wow, animated feature film based on popular comic strip of a sarcastic lasagna-loving cat. Chris Pratt, Garfield. Wow. I mean, I guess it'll be. It looks like it'll probably be like a fully animated thing.
I see Bill Murray's in the cast too.
Oh no! Oh no!
I cast for that after he typed it in.
He's been duped again. He's been tricked. Oh no!
He saw what Chris Pratt was going to be, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not letting you take my title."
That's right. I'm Garfield, baby. It looks like you look at the guys who write this, and it is some. Yeah, you just look. It's like writing for like kids' TV, and then like some writing for Disney movies and stuff. Like,
and then you combine the two.
Yep. And now you have Garfield 2024. I don't know who's clamoring for. Like, I love Garfield. I think Garfield's very cool, very fun. I don't know that there's a need for a new Garfield movie.
Oh yeah, especially after all these years, and I never made a third one.
Right? Yeah, and it's just like, okay. I mean, I guess whatever, but very bizarre.
I was just looking at the cast again. It's like John Cena is going to be in it. Samuel Jackson apparently is going to be in it.
Wow. Maybe John Cena will be Odie, and that'll be fine.
Or John. I could see him being just the owner.
That would be so funny. That would be very funny. Yeah, Bill Murray's a guy who, when you look at his IMDb, you see him show up in TV shows a lot, but they're all of his friends' TV shows where it's just like, oh, here's like my buddy, and they asked me to like guest star in one thing, so I'll show up as one funny named character one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great. Hell yeah. Like, that's all you ever need from Bill Murray. I think it's so cool that he doesn't take fucking bogus roles. Like, he just does what he wants, and I think that rules. I think that's so cool. Just seems like a guy who loves going to Chicago Cubs games and like showing up on set some days. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I'm looking at the list of his TV shows. He was in a couple that I'm noticing. Even Parks and Rec. I don't remember which episode.
No, again, it's like it's always. It looks like to me later season stuff, and he shows up one time, or Vice Principals, where I think he shows up one time as the principal, it's that.
Yeah.
So he does like these one-offs where he's like, I'll just do this real quick. The end. You know, it's just, hey, I'll show up and do this thing, and now you paying me? Great. All right. And then he takes off. And I think that's awesome. That's cool. It's cool. Like, you look at his filmography and it's just that. Like, he doesn't, I don't know. To me, I just really respect the guy who like doesn't get caught up in
the attention or whatever.
Yeah, and like so much of I think he gets it in like the right way, because he can be the guy who's like trying for because he could definitely be the guy who tries for awards.
Oh yeah.
He could be the guy who's like Oscar baiting for like an Academy Award. He could be the guy who's on every press tour. He could be the guy who like hates doing these movies but doesn't for like this paycheck or whatever. But it seems like he revels in the attention, but like on his terms.
Yeah.
When he like goes to parties or he goes to Chicago Cubs games and like, you know, does like the 7th inning stretch and like all that, he does it like on his terms. And I think that's so cool. I think it's just more people should do stuff like that. I think it's great.
And so we're quickly approaching that final few minutes here.
Man, so fast talking about Bill Murray. Let me see. I want to see if there's look through his IMDb and find, what do you think is the weirdest, like his biggest role that is also his weirdest role? Because I think I have my pick.
Okay, let me scroll through real quick.
Okay.
I'm still stuck on the Dead Don't Die.
Yeah, right. Super weird one. I think my pick would be that he's Bosley in the Charlie's Angels movies from like from like the year 2000. They like,
yeah.
That's so weird that he just went, yep, I'm Bosley. He doesn't just show up like one time. He's like in the movie a bunch.
Yeah, because I know that's like the main character, one of the main characters.
Yes. Yeah, but then I think they also made other ones. Like, I think they made other Charlie's Angels movies, but like I don't think he's in them. I think he's just in Charlie's Angels.
Yeah. I couldn't find it, but yeah.
That's crazy. I think he's just in the here. Let's see, Full Throttle. Looking it up. No, Bernie Mac takes over.
Oh.
so I stand by. That's his weirdest role. Is he is Bosley in the first Charlie's Angels movie and not the rest of them. They have Bernie Mac do it. Crazy. Fucking
that. They switched it
crazy.
Too. Yeah.
So goofy. Damn, man. Well, there you go. That's Bill Murray, man. Bill Murray at a glance. I like it.
So is there anything you wanted to say, promote?
No. Hey, listen to some of our other episodes if you haven't yet. Go back and check out some other ones where we talked about some other people. I think it's this is always like a lot of fun, real easy listen. So I definitely say go check those out.
All right, and thanks for coming back on.
Absolutely.
Right, I just want to shout out an amazing channel, James the Sheriff Dixon. Oh, he's such a great guy, and he is super cool for coming to the show. I'm glad I got to meet him in person, and you should subscribe.